Hey man, say man, it's that time and oh my god, these niggas are out here swinging. I had to double check. No, this is page 1. These niggas are just out here swinging. So since they want to just get on with it, I will too. Without further ado, it's time for chapter 229 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse. As we see that the Sins are jumping calf quite aggressively, I might say. As we see everyone on the sidelines shouting like they got parlays on this shit. Bartra's over there crying at the fact that this was probably going to be his daughter's last fight. And in the next page, we hear Elizabeth calling out to Tristan, and we see the knights all in cloaks, by the way, acting mysterious, except Lancelot, who's there in his form as Sin, over there. Or like, where are these niggas right now? And Elizabeth wishes that she could have held him close one last time and watch him walk down the aisle with Isolde, and states that instead of that, she'll watch over him for all time. With Tristan looking over as if he feels the disturbance in the force, as you would with your mother, you know, essentially giving up her life. And Percival asks Tristan if something's up, with Tristan just saying that he doesn't know, but just had an odd feeling. Like, where are these niggas, my nigga? I hope the next chapter switches over to them. Next page, we see that Tristan continues saying that he could hear his mom's voice. And we see this is the double spread page of Elizabeth in perfect time, just out here. Is this aura farming, grace farming? And the title of this chapter is called The Love Letter. And we go over to see Cap swinging at the Sins again, straight slash down the middle, but he's shocked to see that obviously instant regeneration. They charge right through it, and I see the pain in Meliodas' eyes right there, knowing that his girl is going to be going after this fight. And he literally hits Kaf with a Godslayer, Kamichigiri. I know it doesn't say the name, but I recognize that slash anywhere. As Elizabeth continues talking to him in his telepathically on how the long days they spent together were pure happiness for herself, as Meliodas cuts off a bunch of Kaf's limbs. Elizabeth continuing to talk to Meliodas in his mind, as we see Kaf getting dismembered over and over again there, as she continues to state that even though the curse placed on them by their parents put them through so much strife, but finds it strange how looking back at it, she sort of misses those moments a lot. And we see Meliodas looking over to see that he's about to get hit with a chaos attack, with Elizabeth sort of tearing up as she's speaking as well, and sweating as well. And we see Kaf do that goddamn dance of holy and evil, I think the name of the attack was, but it don't matter. Work. As we see Meliodas really, like, look at how he's gritting his teeth. He is in shambles. He's in grief, in anger, in a lot of pain, as he just fillets Kaf up even more, with Elizabeth saying that she's sure that it's all thanks to the almost too earnest love that Meliodas had for her, and that even though life would have been so much easier for him if he just left her and continued with himself, but he never averted his eyes for us. Bro, this is so cutesy, and it's so bittersweet that, I mean, she probably says things similar to this between the two of them in private, but she continues to state that Meliodas never stepped back from their destiny and took her by the hand and kept walking alongside, and that most of all, as we see a bunch of chaos portals around the Sins, as Elizabeth continues to state that he had given her so many gifts that she could have never obtained by herself. As Kaf decides to, alley hoopering, tries to attack the Sins through the portals with a bunch of chaos hands, but they just blast out of it thanks to King's Sunflower. And Kaf goes to try and move an arm, realizes he can't, goes to see Gopher holding him back on his solo dolo, everyone telling out the Sins to knock this nigga out. Diane literally decks him with Gideon.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
As Elizabeth goes to say that all the bonds forged with their companions, and that all the joys of pooling their powers together, as Bond goes in with a blunt weapon, is dicing up a nigga's head, well, technically maybe pulverized it even, and that all the courage needed to stand tall for someone even when alone. with Balin being like, yeah, no, we can win this shit. They're pushing him back, with Cav realizing that he can't regenerate as quickly as he's trying to build himself back, only to get pelted with Trillion Dark. As like I'm iterating with each panel of Meliodas, we see that this nigga is so mad and distraught at the fact that things had come to this, with Elizabeth saying that all that shining love he constantly provided her as well, and that finally the main thing being their beloved son as well, as we see Tristan crying with no idea why. Bro, this let me continue because I'm not gonna ruin this flow. With Cav finally putting himself back together and is starting to run away, it's just like, yo, leave me alone. And Meliodas is on rush down, chase down badge activated, as Elizabeth states that she feels lonely having to depart like this, but doesn't have any sadness, that inside of her heart he's always next to her. Bro, this is so sweet. Cav tries swinging back, gets Meliodas, and we see blood form before it quickly heals up, but that doesn't leave Cav's side. No. He's like, and it's like, you bled for a moment, right? Okay. Elizabeth is, slowly fading away, proclaims her love to Meliodas and that it's there for all time, with Meliodas promising Cav that he'll never let him have his way with Britannia. Cav is just like, okay, alright, let's see what's going on now. I got something for that ass. And he's like, all the chaos housed within me, become the strongest of shields to protect me, as all the chaos monsters that he created earlier converge to him. And everyone's confused at what's going on, with Cav being like, okay, back and watch it twirl, let's play a little game I made. How about we make this an endurance contest? 7 deadly sins. Will you destroy my perfect guard first, or will your perfect time run out instead? As Cav has now turned into this giant, indestructible cat head, which is very similar to, how he used to look. But that is where the chapter ends. I feel like this was a very well written chapter, in terms of like the way he just paneled everything and the dialogue from Ellie as things are going along as well. It flows so well to the point where it's like you kind of have to sit back and really realize, like, hold on, this is genuinely going to be the end of her life. And then it's showing the panels of Tristan as well, just it's putting the icing on the cake. Like, this is most definitely it's a bittersweet chapter, in terms of whilst the sins are like got a chance now to not worry about shit and just go all in, it's also a case of we're going to lose a very, very dear character to the series, a character who at one point was the main, not at one point, at many a points was the main driving force for the plot of the original series. Because at the beginning of 7 of these sins, the Holy Knights wanted to catch Elizabeth because Hendrickson wanted to use her blood to unseal the Demon Clan. Season 2, they went off training so that obviously Meliodas could get his powers, but also to awaken Arthur and Elizabeth's powers there. And then after everything with the curse got revealed, then the main goal was we have to make sure that she stays alive. Only for all of that to now come to a point in the sequel where she has no choice but to give up her life. It's, in a way, it's kind of poetic if you think about it, because in the previous series, in this life as Elizabeth Leones, she has spent most of her time being cared for, or looked after, being the one needing saving. Whereas here in this moment with this, it's an accumulation of all she's been through in the original series, even from 3,000 years ago to now. It's an accumulation of everything. And this whole, as Elizabeth has stated before, she had wanted to fight alongside Meliodas even before she regained her memories. And then when she did, and then the whole curse thing came out, and then she was the one who went forward with going up fighting against the demon clan so that she could get her man back. So it's accumulated to a point where despite them being the strongest in the verse, the Sins need help, and it is the perfect time, unironically, for her to give back all the love and care and protection that they have shown her. I'm sure if I just, reread through the series, I'm sure there's a more like clear cut cloth way than I'm saying it, to basically say that this is a decent way to end off her character arc. Now, there are some things obviously that are unanswered about her, like her past as Bloody Ellie, but I don't mind never learning about it low key at this point now. Yeah, it's like everything has accumulated to this perfect time for Elizabeth to help out when she's needed. Not saying she's never been vital in certain battles, but if anything, she is following a trend, because again, from a different angle, her form is called Perfect Time. She has always been there and helped at the perfect time for the Sins, from season 1 against Hendrickson when she awakened her powers. Season 2 is the rough. I can't really think of anything off the bat. Y'all might have to help me there. Season 3 onwards. Season 3, went back to the Sins after leaving Melly to fight against Melly. Season 4 was willing to go up against the Demon King 2v1 with her man. Are we serious right now? Come on, let's not forget that. And wasn't even a liability in the fight either. Like, thinking back at it, we really don't give Elizabeth enough credit. I feel like the community does not give Elizabeth enough credit for a lot of the things she does. But genuinely, it's like, I'm repeating myself, I know, but it's literally all accumulated here as to where she once again is being the clutch character, an underrated, undisputed MVP. She might have to be assistant player of the year. Is that position? No. What am I thinking of? You know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that essentially, when it comes to helping out in the clutch, being there in the nick of time, the perfect time of assistance, Elizabeth LIONES will be there standing tall for her man and their friends. I can't really say much else on this chapter. The next chapter is called Pandora's Box, so we may get to see what the door has been hiding this entire time, what Hauser handed him. I'm guessing that's a magical thing from either Thetis or Merlin, or some kind of magical relic, because we know the king of we know Bartras used to have a bunch of magical relics. His sacred treasures, while Dubs made them, he had them. But then again, is that a retcon that Nakaba over? Anyways, now Calf, I can't lie, this is kind of smart for him to do, realizing, oh wait, these niggas are on a time crunch, let me just outlast them. And he's willing to gamble on this, whether they can break his perfect guard. So yeah, it'll be certainly interesting to see. And I'm guessing because of this perfect guard, he may not be mobile at all, which maybe will leave an opening for Dodora to use that Pandora box or whatever to, even like I said before, seal him away, keep him frozen in time, giving the knights some form of like, okay, we can breathe and go to them to see what they're going. That could be a way to transition into the next arc where Percival and the others are on their way to find Merlin and Arthur. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a nigga in his room reading manga. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this chapter. This, again, if anything, very tear-jerking, low-key. I bet when I reread this in my own time, I'm genuinely gonna start tearing up a bit, because why is her dialogue is just the, like I said, the flow of everything, the way the pounds are moving, the fluidity of it, the dialogue, everything is just. I know some of y'all were holding back tears reading this low-key. If Elizabeth does go, it's gonna be rough. I know it'll cool some niggas to drop the series, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Take care. Have a good one.